What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're actually going over two ships in one video because they are identically the same thing. They just happen to be one on one nation and one on a different nation. One being the Boise, a Tier 7 USN cruiser, and then one being the Nueve De Julio, the Tier 7 Pan American cruiser. Now, this is the first cruiser on the Pan American line. This is going to be a line kind of like the Pan Asian line, Commonwealth, that style, where it's a bunch of countries kind of filling up one line instead of it just being a pure USN or pure IJN, that style of line. So we're going to see a lot more like this. But these ships are actually identically the same ship because they are actually the same ship. The Boise was sold to Argentina, and then it was turned into the Nueve De Julio. So World of Warships is actually doing a pretty cool deal with both of these ships. When you go to worldofwarships.com, you'll see a 1 equals 1 plus 1, because you would go, why would I buy one if they're the exact same thing, right? Why am I getting the two of the same ships? Why would I pay for both of these? But this is a pretty cool setup they have going on here. Now, you can straight up go out and buy both of these ships if you want to. Comes with a bunch of extra doubloons, port slots, extra flags, a ton of 150 of these extra flags, which are pretty solid. Actually, they're really good ones. A ton of the defensive aid, repair parties, all these extra things. You can just straight up go out and buy both of these ships and hop right into them, no big deal. Or you can go buy, and there's some other smaller packages too if you want to buy a single one. But one thing they've done is, I haven't seen them kind of do this in the past, is if you buy just straight up one of the ships, there's actually a special mission to get the Boise. If you buy the Nueve, if you buy the Nueve, there's a special combat mission to get the Nueve De Julio. So if you buy one or the other, I believe the mission is go out and get 300,000 experience. Now, of course, that will take you a little bit, but you know, if you buy one ship and you want to get the other, you kind of save 39 bucks going out, you know, save some money on this package for sure. But if you want to go out and get one of these ships, you can actually unlock a mission once you buy and it's in your port. You'll get a mission that pops up and saying, hey, go out, get this experience, and then you'll actually unlock the second ship. So that is actually a pretty cool feature with this setup. But let's dive over back into the port and we'll break down these ships and show you some game footage. So here we are back in port and looking at the ship. It spots 33,300 life, and it's pretty reasonable for what this is because it comes with a pretty nice heal as well. 5 times 3, so 15 shells going out, and of course we'll be running an inertia fuse capped on this so you guys can see the damage on that. The range is 13.6, but with this playstyle of this light cruiser, with the light cruiser line that has just come out, you're probably getting semi-used to it. You're not going to really need that much range because the arc on these shells is pretty high. It's going to look just like the Cleveland. If you've ever played a USN light cruiser, it's going to have the same kind of feeling. 13.6 though, it does give you a bit of a problem up tiering a little bit, but overall it's one of those same ships. If you saw my Cleveland video the other day, this is a absolute monster of ships coming into you. Make them come into you because you're just going to absolutely punish them with some massive alpha damage. Some pretty solid AA with these light cruisers. They are basically an AA line, and with 6-kilometer range, that's with AFT and with the module. We're rocking some pretty high DPS actually with 70 AA rating. Max speed 30 knots, 690 meters for the turning circle radius, and then rudder shift 9.1. With this, I really like running the propulsion module, and I'll show you my captains as well. 10.1 kilometer detection, that is with concealment expert. So this is the captain I am running on this. First of all, I would go with priority target. I really like that. Adrenaline rush as well. You don't need extra marksmanship. I think the turrets turn fast enough. I picked up demo expert. You could pick up superintendent if you really want for the extra charges on the heal and the AA. Demo expert just kind of nice, a bit more greedy, I would say. Concealment's great. Pick that up. Honestly, if you want to though, just get right into it. I think inertia fuse is okay picking up first too. If you're going to get a 10-point captain anyway if you're purchasing it, so inertia fuse isn't that bad. And if you have some elite commander XP, pumping it up to a 14. But I would get these first, and then maybe at 18 picking up advanced firing training just for the extra AA. It is kind of nice. And then I just went with preventative maintenance here. You could pick up expert loader as well to be a little bit more aggressive. With the modules on this, I ran premium, so you can get your choice of AA and Hydro, but you do have a pretty nice heal of 666 Illuminati JK HP per second on that heal. So this is pretty nice. It's pretty unique for a tier 7 cruiser. You don't tend to get heals that low besides, you know, outside of just a few. So having a heal at this, and it's actually a pretty nice heal, so it's a pretty massive HP per second to gain back. So it does give you a bit of a chance, kind of like in the Salem, to be a bit more aggressive if you really want to with this ship. Upgrades on this, pretty simple. It's only a tier 7, so there's only a few slots. Main armament mod 1, is what I'm running. Damage Control System Mod 1, lessening the fires. Get that AA range out there, because Tier 7, you tend to run into a lot of CVs, so you want that AA range. And then for these light cruisers, I am loving Propulsion Mod. Normally on all my cruisers, I am running steering gears to avoid torps, but with the Propulsion Mod and kind of this sit island play of the light cruisers, I really enjoy Propulsion Mod. Slowing down and then speeding up very quickly can save your life and just get into better spots. So let's dive into some game footage and show the potential of this ship and how well it can do, especially with these smaller maps. So here we are in game with the Boise, and if I'm showing you the Boise, it's going to play exactly. That's why I'm not going to show you two different games, one with the Nueve, one with the Boise, because they are the same thing. It's actually been kind of funny if you do have replays enabled. This is technically a replay for the Nueve De Julio, although it's the Boise. Even the game files, I guess, don't really know which one it is. So that's just how much of the same that they are. But the one thing I noticed when I was playing these ships, both the Nueve and the Boise, I played games in both of them, even though they are a similar playstyle. Honestly, camo-wise, I think the Boise does look cooler. I think this permanent camo is pretty nice. Nueve is pretty cool too, but it's just kind of a simple, gray kind of setup. This one is I think just overall looks better. I noticed I was getting really good matchmaking with all of these ships. I think I played in one day 5-6 games, and I don't think I was ever top or bottom tiered in any of those games. Now, of course, I probably just ran into some good luck, but one thing I did see was I was getting really good matchmaking, and the tier 7 matchmaking for maps specifically is these are really, really, really good maps for this style of play. So these ships are extremely strong, in my opinion, for this, and I really kind of recommend these ships. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I think they're extremely strong, and you will see what this thing can absolutely do against destroyers. Remember, this is with inertia fuse, so you will get some big damage on DDs and with a decent amount of fire. Remember, 15 shells going out at one time with inertia fuse. You're just going to be absolutely destroying, and in my opinion, that's pretty dang accurate as well. So anything that you will end up spotting, you will get to just do massive damage to. DDs, 2 salvos, 5,300 damage. You'll get to see 1 DD later, basically just get annihilated due to these guns. And you do not want to be something, even like a battleship that forces repair. I got really lucky on that one. I thought that was pretty solid. He was just a tad under, so we got a little lucky with the Ganiza now, hitting a bit of a Hail Mary shot. But overall, you'll see what this ship can kind of do, especially when you get into a good spot where you can lob over some islands and break that line of sight between the battleships, and you can kind of get your farm on, because that's what these ships are extremely good at. Extremely good at destroyers, extremely good at punishing. Even with the, you'll see what we can do with some AP as well. Just a lot of shells going out. A lot of shells. If you played the Helena, it kind of plays similar to that. Honestly, any of those light cruisers has a very similar play style, which I think I'm kind of getting used to more and more. It was a play style I was sort of slow to accept the full playstyle of. I tended to not like that kind of playstyle, but when you do get to kind of play these maps, I think overall it's actually kind of fun once you kind of get used to it. It's a bit trolly, I'll be honest. You know, you tend to spend a lot of your game hiding behind an island, doing a ton of damage to people, and they can't really do anything about it. But overall, you're gonna do a ton of damage. And I've had some pretty damn successful games and just be super effective. Not only, there was one game where a CV just continued to fly his planes even close to me, and it was bad news because the AA rating is so good. So you'll see right here, I'm a Miyoko at about 9 kilometers, and of course we're going to switch over to some AP, angle away a little bit because his 203s will absolutely shred me. But right there, 7 hits, 4,300 damage. I mean, that's just good by itself, but we will kind of punish that broadside as much as we can. Nice little 5,200. I thought I got more citadels on this guy, maybe not. But the thing is, switching from HE to AP is pretty at ease with this ship. You know, there are situations where I think one is, but it's not like in some ships. What I'm trying to say, I just worded that terribly, is I feel like on some ships, one shell type seems so weak, where like there's nothing you should be picking other than just that shell type. This one I feel like you're very effective both using HE and both using AP. So there's the torps in from the Miyoko. Actually, those weren't from the Miyoko. Those are from the DD that's in front of us, which I believe was not the, I think it was the Matsuki that's right here. But now, I mean, just look at all this farm. 4 battleships right here. There's 1 DD that's pretty close, but we do have me, which can be pretty, you know, pretty stealthy and hopefully kind of lock him in. And we'll see what we can do here. And a battleship that can kind of support us. So right here, you're gonna see the Sims, and I believe there's 1 more DD here. So a bit off on that salvo. I was trying to maybe take out his rudder or something like that. But there's the Matsuki. So we'll get this the Sims out of the game. Team's doing some work right now as well, and I find low tier kind of so fun because it's just kind of a madhouse. I would consider this low tier, this matchmaking 5 to 7. I would consider that semi low tier, but it just seems like this ship rewards you for doing everything, which I find to be very fun. I do honestly, you know, it's outside of when people ask me is a ship worth it, I have a hard time saying yes or no to that because I don't know what $1 is from one person to another. But I always recommend is this ship fun? Is this ship fun? Doing 4,300 damage to a destroyer is pretty nasty. I find this ship to be a lot of fun, and it kind of rewards some pretty good play as well as being fairly easy to play. So Matsuki will make disappear pretty quick because of those guns, and here you kind of see the heal in because I got pretty lucky right here with this Colorado. Got super lucky on this salvo. That's probably the most accurate salvo you could ever get out of a Colorado. But I mean, look at that heal right there. He chunked us for what, 11k, and we got about half of that back. So that's pretty nice. That's one thing that allows you to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to this. So even though we are kind of lightly armored, and the Colorado is just so brutal when it comes to shooting, because its shell type just absolutely it massacres armor. I think that's one thing that's kind of nice about battleships this year, is the ability for that to just do a massive amount of damage. He's just going to rip through and overmatch everything I have here. But we'll try to punish him, get him a bit away, and try to stay alive. And what we can do is we have that heal, those extra heals to kind of sit there. If not, I would probably be around 9k right now if it weren't for my heals. So we're just going to kind of risk it right now, go for the salvo, hope the Colorado is the Colorado when we can get out of this situation, and try to get in with the sticky fire. So we just needed this not to be a Citadel. It wasn't. We would probably be like 3 or 4k right now if it happened to be without that heal, but luckily we got around that corner. We can heal up, probably double our life again in about 35 seconds, and then we're right back into this game. But yeah, overall we got what, almost 70k damage in less than 8 minutes, 2 kills. We took out a high fire chance, just a ton of shells going out. I find this ship just to be fun. I find it to be a fun ship. With the heal, it just adds a whole nother layer of kind of the ability to do anything with this ship. I find it just be a lot of fun, and you can just go out and kind of just work. Again, maybe I got lucky with my matchmaking, but it seemed like, and I find tier 7 matchmaking to be overall pretty solid. It's usually pretty good. I find it to be one of the best. I feel like tier 7 and tier 9 are some pretty solid matchmakings because they're just so rewarded. I feel like tier 7's ships are so much better than tier 5 ships, as in like tier 9 ships are so much better than tier 7. So I feel like those matchmakings are pretty good. And I feel like overall, I mean, out of 15 shells, we have 10 right there for a nasty salvo and a fire. You're going to get a lot of that. And again, I'm in such a good spot. I mean, that alpha damage is just absolutely nuts. There's our 3rd kill right there. And this Colorado, I think, ends up getting just destroyed by our mass right here. So I'm just going to work towards their cap, and we can start burning down our last guy. Because I think this game, we won't watch the whole game here, because the rest of this game just kind of is the rest of the team hunting down that last destroyer over on the 1 line. But I think we're just kind of waiting a little bit here, and then we're going to roll towards north and work down their last battleship. Get a little bit more damage in, because I think we have overall a pretty solid damage game. And there he is right there, the Congo. But again, I'm really enjoying this ship, these ships. Again, the Nueve De Julio and the Boise, both tier 7 cruisers, one for the USN line, one for the Pan American line, which is the first time we are seeing that. So with that, pretty exciting to see some other stuff, some other lines, some maybe, you know, insert whatever South American line potentially has some extra ships. But I think this one falls under a lot of fun. Just kind of like, is it going to be the strongest ship? I don't know if it will be the strongest ship. Kind of like the Massachusetts, and the Massachusetts wasn't the strongest, but I found that ship to be a lot of fun. This one is a ship that I'm actually enjoying. Like, is it going to take the lead from the Belfast as being the best tier 7 cruiser? No, but can you be an extreme pain in the ass for destroyers and battleships? Oh, hell yeah. And I think overall you will do great. And you can just see, just watching these salvos on the Congo. Now remember, this is with inertia fuse, so it's going to require a little bit of a higher captain. But the good thing is, and that's probably one thing too, if you're looking to just pick up one of these, and good guy teammate Nicholas, if you're looking to pick up one of these ships, I would probably pick up the Boise, because you're most likely going to have a captain for that, and then picking up the Nueve De Julio later, because if you pick up Nueve De Julio, you're probably not going to have a captain. It's going to be the only trainer for that captain. So if you are going to just pick up the one and use those missions, there's our 4th kill right there. We don't end up getting the Kraken. But if you are, and the rest of this game is just us trying to find that DD. But if you do look at that, 460,000 credits, so pretty good at credit earning. 112k damage for a tier 7 cruiser. That's pretty solid. 4 kills, a bunch of fires, shot down a couple planes, even though there weren't any CVs, and top of the team. So yeah, if you are looking to pick up one of these, I would go with the Boise. Because it's going to be easier for you to get a USN captain and to get a high level captain into the ship, so you'll have more fun early on. I think if you pick up the Nueve and then do the mission and get the Boise later, it's just going to be a new captain. It's probably going to be your only captain that you can, you know, kind of, you know, you're not really gonna have like a good trainer basically. So if you are going for the one to get the other, I would probably recommend the Boise. But overall, guys, these ships are a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking of these ships, if you guys pick them up, and if you guys like the idea of and this could be maybe a test that Wargaming is doing with maybe unlocking some other ships that are very close. I like this idea, being able to purchase one premium and getting a second one or a different loadout of the exact same ships. This has been kind of the problem in the past with Wargaming, having a hard time getting other historic ships out there because they're exactly the same. But I think this is a pretty cool way to kind of work around it. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. The Nueve De Julio and the Boise tier 7 cruisers coming to now they're in World of Warships. They're in the store. Again, I'll put a link down below if you guys want to go check them out. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.